Hello, this is Will Smith on BlueMoonRisingTV. Now, I'm here to inject a little bit of positivity into the world of Manchester City this week. So without further ado, let's crack on with some of those comments. Lol. Hammy. Chelsea flop. They never even played him. Now, this is in regards to De Bruyne, who we're actually sniffing after at the moment. And to call him a flop, I think was outrageous. I looked at some of the back of the papers this week when we were linked with the guy, and it had £60 million flop. He actually did leave Chelsea, but he left Chelsea because humans and footballers progress at different rates. So some players are going to be good when they're youngsters and fade away, and some players are going to come on strong, especially when they've been given playing time. May as well be calling Pogba a flop, Giuseppe Meazza a flop. You may as well be calling George Best a flop. You may as well be calling Yaya Toure a flop, Alan Shearer a flop. These players were all rejected at certain times in their careers by clubs. To actually do them down for the rest of the time that they're there, that's silly talk. I was looking at De Bruyne and I was thinking the main actual attributes that this player's got is he can find the play in the final third of the pitch, and he's got an eye for a pass as well. His assist record is absolutely outrageous. He got more assists in the German league than any other player did in the Premiership. Doesn't sound like flop material to me. If you think about Aguero in our team to benefit from all these assists, now that takes me to the edge of giddiness and quite possibly over as well. To call him a flop is the idea of, I would say, somebody turning down Beyonce for a date because, oh, well, when she was at school she used to be ugly. I didn't like her then. Abdul Anna. Real Madrid are beating City 3-1. Cheers for the update. Let's get this right, folks. I would have liked to have seen City win the game. I was sat there watching it on TV. There's no argument there. I would have liked to have seen City win. But would I have swapped a win at Real Madrid in a friendly for a draw or a loss against West Bromwich Albion? No chance. The real deal starts that Monday night. It's live on Sky, and I'll be giddy and I'll be hoping that we'll be actually winning that game. The other thing I did notice was when I was actually watching the game was City had quite a few youngsters out, and it was an experimental side. Seeing how they're getting on, I do believe that Real Madrid took the game very seriously. And fair play to them, they got the result that they wanted, but I don't think City were actually after the result. I think City were there trying the best, you know, to breed the new players in. Our two centre-halves, if you actually added the age together, were a lot younger than I am, sad to say, and a lot younger than Frank Lampard as well. We're two young lads trying to earn their crust, trying to actually see what it's like to play against a top team. Watching a young lad who's just actually taken his GCSEs come up against Benzema, Bale, Ronaldo, Modric, it was a great learning curve for him. He can actually see where he's got to be and the level that we're expecting of him in future years to come. The one thing I did find a little bit weird and a little bit strange, folks, was this idea of Liverpool fans actually buying a ticket to two teams that are in the Champions League to actually boo a City player that has gone on to try and develop himself at a club that is actually in the Champions League. To be honest, the thing that concerned me most about the Real Madrid game, without a shadow of a doubt, hands down, was actually Delph getting injured. He looked absolute top class in those first 18 minutes. After he went off, the team kind of, well, started to fall apart, to be honest. So he looks a bargain for £8 million. Just think, Delph, if you'd have actually stayed, you could have got injured in the first 20 minutes while your ex-team, Aston Villa, took on the might of Walsall. That's right, that's the team near the RAC building on the M6. The other thing about the Real Madrid game, which brought it all home, was what a good time the boys from Blue Moon Rising TV were having. Oh, whale of a time. So I'd like to give a big shout out to the Melbourne and the Brisbane branch. Maybe next time I can come over and meet you guys as well. Troll of the week this week has got to go to Joe Laffey. I think this would be bad news for City regarding Pep Guardiola. A completely impractical manager. He's not a winner. How about Ancelotti? Everyone has forgotten about him. Before I start going on about Pep Guardiola, I'd like to take this little opportunity just to say that I'm a big fan of Pellegrini, and I think Pellegrini has done a fantastic job for City. But Pep Guardiola is always like Camilla Parker Bowles was to Charles. Always there in the background, and we knew one day that it would happen. A little bit like the elephant in the room, but that is Pep Guardiola. A loser. 3 Spanish titles, 2 German titles, 2 Champions League. If he entered the Great British Bake Off competition, I'm afraid my money would definitely be on Pep. Ancelotti is a great manager, there's no denying that. But Pep Guardiola and City are like Torval and Dean, Lennon and McCartney, Charles and Diana. Oh, hang on. You get the gist. They were made for each other. Pellegrini signed a 3-year deal. Now, them 3 years are going to be up next summer, and Pep is a once-in-a-lifetime, or once-in-a-generation certainly, manager. I back the boys from Barcelona in our hierarchy to bring him in. I'll sign off with this though. Rumours regarding Pep. Doesn't really matter to me. I'm going to be 100% that first kick-off behind the boys, behind the team, behind Pellegrini as well. He's our manager and I do love him, so I'm going to get behind him until Pep comes in. That's another week of Walter's Glass Half Full. So if you've got any comments that you'd like a bit of positivity injecting into, don't forget to leave them below. Possibly a like. Oh, time for another.
This is Ricky the Hitman Hatton. Subscribe to Blue Moon Rising TV for a knockout time.